Partnered by Time's Influence.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Mahindra Scorpio presents TOISA Fueling Sports. I'm Nadia and I am taking you on this incredible journey where you get up and close with some of the biggest names in the world of sports. Today's episode in particular is so very special because today we'll be face to face with a global sporting icon. She created history, she redefined gymnastics when she scored the perfect 10, the first ever perfect 10 in the Olympics. This was way back in 1976 in Montreal and she was just 14 years old. Yes, I am talking about Nadia Comaneci and a riveting conversation with this superstar. Let's jump right in. Hello and welcome to Mahindra Scorpio presents TOISA. I'm here with a person who is synonymous with the perfect 10, synonymous with gymnastics, and had the entire world sit up and take attention and pay notice to her at the age of 14 years. The beautiful Nadia Comaneci. It is such a privilege to be sitting with you here today.
Thank you.
You know, TOISA has conferred you with a mentor of the year, the kind of inspiration. How important and significant is that for you?
Well, first of all, I'm very honored to be a part of these awards and to celebrate the best athletes of your country. And if I can motivate one or two people through my work and my life, I think I am again honored to do that. That's a lot of athletes who were not born in a time when I competed, which was 41 years ago, which is hard to believe. That's been such a long time. And I'm really honored to be here to celebrate with all the athletes.
You know, Nadia, going back in time, that picture that made headlines all over the world with this 14-year-old girl just shaking it all up. You know, did you realize the significance of it back then? Whatever you can remember and, you know, just take us through that time.
No, I didn't know too much about everything you say because I was too young and I didn't understand, and actually I'm actually happy that I didn't understand. I studied gymnastics when I was 6.5, and probably a lot of kids my age that had a lot of energy, and my mom didn't know what to do with me because I was breaking furniture in the house. And she found out from a neighbor that there is a place next to where we live that's called a gymnastic school, and she was very happy to take me there temporarily, she said, until my energy was going away. And I liked it because I felt free, I liked to fly, I made a lot of friends, and then I started to compete, and I liked the competition.
So what motivated you all along?
I mean, kids don't know what they want to do when they are young. I think they should be exposed to a lot of different things until they figure out what they like. I think gymnastics right now, as I look at that, it's a great sport, a base sport for any kid who wants to do any sport in their life.
And the fact that you started so early, of course, there's an advantage that comes with it because your body becomes a certain way, your training becomes a certain way. And in your case, and I think in the case of most professional athletes at that level, the role of a mentor or a coach that becomes all important. Tell us about yours.
Yes, I had a few different coaches actually, but the one that everybody remembers is the one who took me to the Olympics, Bella Caroli and his wife Marta Caroli, and I still connect with them right now. They live in Houston, and they retire from mentoring and coaching because they coached the U.S. team for a while after they left Romania, and it's very important. I always say that my success was a combination of the place where I was born, of the timing when I was doing gymnastics, and of the timing that my coach was around. So it was a triangle of success. Because if I would have been by myself, definitely wouldn't happen. If I would have been in a different place than Romania, it wouldn't happen. So everything was lined up for me in such a way that brought the success that we discovered together.
You were born to be a trailblazer. Yeah. You know, as far as your coach is concerned, Bella, there's been a lot of talk about him, controversies, but sticking to business literally, his training methods, you know, was there a lot of corporal punishment involved, and was that really important, and did that help to shape you into what you are?
No, there was no punishment involved. There was just demanding of a quantity of repetition, which we realize in time. That's what you need to be successful, because you cannot be lucky to win a medal in sports. Yeah. No, you gotta have to do the repetition in a gym or wherever you are, because everything becomes automatic and it becomes easier. The many execution you have in your bag, we say it, the better it is for you to be able to perform your best routine at the right time.
Today, you can see the role of a coach or a mentor from both sides of the fence. You've been coached, mentored. Today, you have academies. You're in touch with gymnasts. This is your life. What are the lessons you've learned from what you've gone through, and how do you see it from where you are today?
Well, everything that I learned when I was a gymnast, I apply today, even though I retired many years ago. Discipline is the most important thing.
See.
Discipline in everything you do, to rest, wake up, work out. Now we have now we say we, because I'm married to another Olympic champion, Bar Connor, and we have an almost 11-year-old boy who does everything but gymnastics.
That's bound to happen. Right?
He comes in a gym and he does whatever he wants, and then he just goes on and he does soccer and he does, rock climbing and tennis. So I think it's good because he's busy with sports. Sports is good. I think also parents need to understand how important sports is. Not necessarily, my kid is not going to go to the Olympic. We don't know if your kid is going to go to the Olympic, but sports is good for your health, for the kids' health. They don't know what they like. They will discover through sports. They make friends. I come from a country where traveling was not easy. And I was able to travel everywhere because of my sport. I was competing and traveling because of my gymnastics. And I got to see a lot of countries and I made a lot of friends. My parents wouldn't have the money to facilitate all the traveling that the sport gave to me.
As far as your journey is concerned, right? There's been lots written about it. Which are the biggest challenges that you've faced so far?
I always like to challenge myself. If somebody would have told me, I don't think you can do that, I would say, I bet I can. I don't think you can do 15 repetitions. I said, I bet I can do 17. So I always like to do that. I'm the kind of person that doesn't complain about anything because I take this as a learning experience. I don't think I wanted to be given things on a plate. Because I taste the success much better because we did it on our own, together as a family and with the coach and my opportunities. And I don't complain because I work hard. Why I should complain about that?
As far as the sport is concerned, of course, gymnastics, and again, any sport at that level, at that caliber, how important is mental resilience and strength, and how do you build on that? Physical training, one can go to the gym, the exercises, etc. But how do you fortify yourself mentally?
I think the most important thing is to never lose passion for what you do, and remember why are you doing what you do, because you have the love for it and you like to challenge yourself. I think that short goals are more important than long goals. I try to be a little better tomorrow and a little better the next day. That's how you progress. And you just learn from every day it's something that you learn from it. And I'm here talking to you because my mom took me in that gym when I was 6.5. And at some point she said that, you know, you can do gymnastics, but I also want you to, as long as you're good in school. So I had to do that too because, you know, it was very important to have a college and to finish a university. And in my time when I was doing gymnastics, you know, you were not considered a celebrity if you win the Olympics. Now it's a little bit different because, as I said earlier, you know, it's you are not born an Olympic champion. You have to work hard to become an Olympic champion.
Did gymnastics come very naturally to you? Or did you have to work very hard at it?
I'm not sure what naturally is. I was not very flexible, so I had to work on flexibility. But I like to try crazy stuff, actually, yeah. As I said earlier, you know, we in gymnastics it's good to create something that nobody has done before. And in a code of points, there are some moves that are called the Comaneci salto and the Comaneci dismount. So I like the idea. I was very curious of trying a lot of things that people didn't do.
Nadia, looking back, what would you describe as a tough and rugged moment in your life?
Probably I should say the moment when I left Romania was, as you call it, really tough and hard. There was a decision that was very hard for me to make, and I didn't know how it will end up, but there was an instinct that I should do it now. And actually, I'm happy that you know, just a few weeks later, Romania became a free country, and it allowed me to go back.
Are you a person of instinct? Do you follow your instinct a lot?
I do. My first instinct is probably the best one, and then I go to the second one just so
Safety.
I go to a second one, and then I go back to the first.
Time now for a quick break here. When we return, we continue our conversation. Stay with us. Welcome back. I'm in conversation with Nadia Comaneci. As far as Deepa is concerned, I mean, you've had a bit of a chance to interact with her. I'm sure you've read about her, seen her, spoken to her. You know, what kind of advice would you give her? She's at a stage in her career where she's very focused, she's very determined, she's a strong girl mentally, physically, you know, she wants to achieve. What is she lacking, or what does she need to develop to get to the next level?
Most important thing, stay healthy and keep all your joints in place. She already has the vault. I mean, she knows what she's doing. She just has to perfect it, you know, to do it a little better every day, as I said a little earlier. And I asked her about the World Gymnastic Championships in October. They will be in Montreal, my historic place.
Exactly.
So she will be there, and hopefully she will make a good mark.
I'm sure she will. Let's rewind back to Montreal. And when you scored the perfect 10 and didn't realize it was the perfect 10 because they only had room for 3 digits or 3 characters on that board, you know, just trying to get inside the mind of a 14-year-old, you just take us through that. You know, how were you scared at any point? Was there any trepidation in your mind that will I be able to do this or will I not be able to do this? You know, were you second guessing it all?
I didn't expect to see so many people in the arena. There was a lot of noise. I always talk to myself, you know, okay, pay attention, try to not listen to the noise. I don't want to listen to the music floor because that's going on all the time. I'm in the training by myself. It's me and the beam. There's no people in the arena because that's how you have to, you know, get over everything that's going on. And when I was on the beam, you talk to yourself, okay, pay attention to the pirouette. Now I have a back handspring. I have to pay attention to this. I cannot make a mistake because this is the Olympics. So I was talking to myself, you know, I think mostly like a child. I think that was very different when I competed in Moscow Olympics. 4 years later, because I was more mature. I understood a little more
exposed
than
to
a
the world.
14-year-old. Plus, I was the Olympic champion who was coming to defend the title. So I had, people said, you had pressure when you were 14. I said, not really. I had more pressure when I was 18 because I understood the entire baggage that comes with that, yeah.
That after Montreal, you became an overnight sensation, overnight success. I'm sure your world changed. How did a 14-year-old cope with all that?
It didn't change too much for me because, we went in a holiday for 3-4 days and then we went back to the gym because this is what we know, this is what we do. We had other competition coming and I didn't decide to retire at 14 and a half. So my life was the gym. I mean, my life was the gym until I retired officially in 1981.
And how strict have you had to be about your diet all your life? Are you just naturally gifted?
No, you have to pay attention. When you're young, you don't know. You have doctors who tells you what's good, what's not good. And now we're adults, we have education, and we try to see what works for me and what I can accommodate. And working out, it's important because I arrived last night late. In the morning, I was in the gym. So it's like, brushing your teeth. That's that's what it is.
So much to learn from you, really, as far as discipline is
Stay
concerned.
next to me. I'll teach you.
I promise you I will.
Okay.
As far as the Olympics is concerned, and of course on the world stage, how important is a gold? I'm talking from the perspective of even Deepa. She missed a medal by a whisker,
Yes.
practically, and she was absolutely gutted. Nothing to
Yeah.
take away from her performance because it was all heart.
Yeah.
But explain to me from your mindset.
The competition was hard, and especially when you have a Simone Biles showing up. It's whatever is left. Everybody was saying if she hits everything, she gets everything. You try to do the best you can, but also remember that in a competition, we know who the best is on a paper, but maybe the best on a paper will not deliver today. So that's a lot of gambling. The only thing you can do is you have no control of anybody else, but you have control on what you do. So try to do the best you can and try to perfect the best you can of what you do. So she does a gutsy vault, she makes it, but she has a little more things to work just to get to that medal, and not to gold. Any medal is
Any
good.
medal.
Yeah. Because some people come to me one time and said, oh, you also won a silver. Oh, what happened? I'm like, what do you mean, what happened? I mean, everybody thinks about silver is like you lose the gold and you get the silver. Every medal is important.
What does it take to be Nadia Comaneci in terms of gymnastics? Like, what does it take to be a champion?
Patience and details. Pay attention to details.
The smallest.
Every small thing is important. And patience is because in gymnastics, I learned A, B, C, D. Now everybody wants to do A and jump to K. You lose a little more time with the patience to go through all the alphabets, but at the end, your foundation is good, so good that you can accomplish those difficult things later.
A young little girl from Romania, and now this beautiful, confident mother of an 11-year-old in America. Your journey has been intense and much spoken and much written about. What are the highlights that have been a part of your life till now?
The highlights were the fact that I was born in Romania, and thank you, Mom and Dad. The fact that I met, that I got signed up for gymnastics, the fact that I was coached at the same time by my famous coaches, and the timing when I decided to go to leave Romania.
That was a very trying time as well, right?
It was a difficult time, and it took 2 months, and Romania became a free country. So it was all about timing. It's sometimes we have an instinct of doing things. We think this is good, and we do it. And if it's not good, that we learn from it. If it's good, we go on and we do the next step. And marrying gymnastics connected me together with my husband now, who is also a gymnast and Olympic champion. And I live in the States, it's true, but I live in Romania too. I do a lot of projects in Romania. It's my dear country. I'm proud to say that I have 2 homes and
Lucky
families in both sides, and I travel and I can help with a little bit in an area that I know, which is sports.
Speaking of your projects, today you're in India, you're here for TOISA. According to you, now Deepa has put Indian gymnastics back, well, not, but she's given it visibility, she has become the face and name of Indian gymnastics. How far away is India realistically from being on the world stage?
It's a good start because we talk about her in the gymnastic world. From the beginning, a few years ago when we heard about her, was that it's a gymnast from India who does an unbelievable vault. That means she's already on the stage. And hopefully she will be on the stage a little longer. I think she becomes a mentor to the young generation and to the parents, saying that yes, cricket is popular here and you have other sports who are very traditional, but hey, we can have gymnastics too. You don't have to be born in one particular place in the planet to be a good gymnast. So I think it's a great start. I hope that the parents are looking up to her success and say, oh, let's have my daughters play some gymnastics. You never know. Plus, gymnastics is good for everybody.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Nadia.
you.
It's been such a pleasure. You know, you've been a trailblazer, complete game changer, and even with what you're doing today, I think it's only more and more success to you and your husband. It's really been an honor. Thank you.
Thank you
so
very much. I'll see you in the gym tomorrow morning. Yeah.
That was Nadia Comaneci, and what an engaging conversation with the world's most perfect gymnast. Next week, right here, same time, on the Mahindra Scorpio presents TOISA Fueling Sports, we will have for you the queen of Indian badminton, none other than PV Sindhu. Make sure you tune in.
Partnered by Times Influence.